Yo, what's going? That's the train. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm gonna try to make this quick and brief, right? This is Saturday. I didn't really do the show this week. A lot of personal stuff going on in my life, but I'm gonna try to brush this up real quick. Last night we saw Ryan Burnett win in his comeback fight. He fought at super bantamweight, but he's expected to come back down to fight at bantamweight in the near future. He just recently signed with Top Rank, so I'm expecting him to possibly face some of these other guys that recently signed with Top Rank, like Anui, who's fighting tonight, or Jason Maloney, who they just recently signed, or the Maloney twins from Australia. He's also has Tete, I believe, under contract as well. So, you know, Bob has the ability to put on his own little bantamweight tournament up on ESPN. Let's see if that happens. Also on Friday, you have Quan Williams fighting on the UFC Fight Pass. He defeated Ricky Edwards' decision. He clearly won. Many pundits will tell you that he won almost every round, if not every round. But two of the judges, they did not see it the same way as many other people saw it. One judge had it 6 rounds to 4. I mean, they've all voted that Williams won. Sorry about homeboy's loud car, but they all voted to have to declare him the winner, but it was just the scores were kind of odd. 6-4 was kind of baffling, and if you think about, that's only 1 round away from a draw when Quan Williams was clearly winning the fight. That shouldn't have been said. It just confirms my opinion that the judges in these fights should be held accountable and be made to speak at a post-fight press conference to determine who, you know, like how they came up with their scores. Whether or not they came up with the score who, like the right man won anyway, they still need to or at least put a description in the score sheets on what they saw in that round of the reason why they gave that guy that round. Anyway, they might have to change the score sheets up a little bit. Anyway, that was last night's fights. Today, Saturday, you got 3 fights. It might even be going on. The World Boxing Super Series between Anui and Rodriguez for the bantamweight. I believe Anui is, only the WBA regular champion, while Rodriguez is the IBF champion. So I don't expect a unification, so to speak. It'll really just be for the IBF champion. And I think they're saying that this is, no, I think that's the Josh fight. Then the co-main event, Josh Taylor versus Ivan Baranchyk for the super lightweight IBF title as well. Josh Taylor, Scottish dude, highly touted contender, taking on the IBF champ Baranchyk. I'm expecting a good fight here, but I also expect Taylor to win by stoppage. I'm expecting Anui to win by stoppage also in the other fight. And Billy Joe Saunders will be taking on Shavkat Usafi, the #1 ranked WBO super middleweight contender for the vacant WBO title that Zerto just vacated. I'm expecting Saunders to win. I don't know, do I have him winning by decision? Probably. Shavkat is not really rated. I mean, he's rated high by the WBO, but he's not like a contender that is highly touted by any other boxer. So I'm not expecting anything too much from the Shavkat side. I think Billy Joe Saunders is going to clearly win an easy victory. And then you got, it's hot out here today, so you got these guys, the biker boys, out. Then you got tonight at Barclays Center, I'll be in the building, Gary Russell Jr. versus Kiko Martinez. Gary Russell Jr. is like a huge favorite to win, and I expect him to win. I think he's gonna possibly stop Kiko. And then you got the main event, Deontay Wilder, WBC champ, Bronze Bomber, Bomb Squad taking on Dominic Trouble Brazil. Dominic Trouble Brazil is they both looking each other in the eyes, so to speak. There was some controversial comments that Deontay Wilder has made over the lead up to this fight, and what in a fight that many probably weren't interested in. There's now a huge spark of interest in it. Now, I'm not sure how successful that will do to the fight or to his image, but nevertheless, we're going to see. I expect Deontay Wilder to take Dominic Brazil no longer than 5 rounds. All right, and that's it. Yo, Too Tough, that's my piece. Peace. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Y'all know what the deal is. All right. Sorry for the mock up, but I had to do it. Some personal stuff happened in my family this week, so. But I didn't want to leave y'all. Anyway, Too Tough and I'm out. That's today's edition of Too Tough, Tough Talk. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Too Tough, Tough Talk. Like, comment, and share with your buddies. Please subscribe and get notified. Too Tough, and that's my piece. Peace. On Friday in the UK, Ryan Burnett returns with a stoppage victory over Gerbert Gamora. Ryan seemed to have dusted off any cobwebs he may have had. He recently signed with Top Rank, who has ties to other bantamweight champs. So is it possible that we could see Burnett versus Tete, who had pulled out of the World Boxing Super Series, or Inoue, who happens to still be in it, fighting tonight? Could we see any one of those guys fight Burnett in the near future? That would be interesting. Top Rank also recently signed the Maloney brothers, so possibly Burnett versus Jason Maloney is in the near future. Also on Friday at Foxwoods, McQuan Williams decisions Ricky Edwards. The scores were 96-94, 97-93, and 100-90. The junior welterweight prospect won easily. Williams probably should look for stepping up his competition in the near future. I suggest maybe facing the likes of maybe Emmanuel Taylor, perhaps Fidel Maldonado, Tyrone McKenna, along those lines. Get him some rounds versus some above average competition, and to see if he's ready to really be in the prime time spotlight with the other guys at 140. The story of the fight, though, in my opinion, is the scoring. Probably going to go under the radar because the right guy won, but the scores were 100-90, 96-94, and 97-93. That means one judge saw Williams winning every single one of the rounds, which, by the way, a lot of boxing writers saw Williams winning easily as well. Some saying that it was generous to even give Edwards one round. Then you had one of the judges of the fight scoring it 96-94, which is basically one round away from a draw. Now, how could one judge see such a close fight? And the other one, 97-93, he gave Edwards 3 rounds, where many other writers and pundits and the third judge found it hard to even give Edwards 1 round, if they gave him 1 round at all. This is confirming my position that judges should be held accountable and made to explain their scores, either in a post-fight presser or at least changing the way the scorecards read and do a round-by-round description on what reasons they gave for who they picked winning the round. Such and such won because of ring generalship. Such and such won because of better defense, more solid shots landed. This way we won't have this air of controversy. It won't look like guys are corrupt, because the guy that scored the fight close to it being a draw, he gets to judge another fight. And if the right guy wins in the next fight, this guy, his judging might allow him to actually judge a fight of significance. And if he's seeing fights totally different, then his scorecard might be the difference between a win and a loss or a draw. That's just my little tough thoughts on it. The judges should be held accountable for their scoring after the fight. I mean, not everybody is going to agree on what they see and everything. Some people favor aggression over defense. However, if you have an explanation, then we can understand what it is that you were looking at and what type of vantage point that you were giving it during the fight, so that we can understand what type of scores you have. Some judges, they may be a judge that likes aggression always, so he's going to favor that type of guy, so that at least that even helps the game plan for the boxers. If some of the judges, if they know, okay, these 3 judges, these guys like finesse, so to speak, then I know I have to make sure that I don't let this guy out finesse me. Even if I'm not a finesse fighter, I can't let this guy out finesse me. Or, you get a chance to choose a different judge, possibly. I don't know. But this should be addressed, because certain fights as of late has been ruled controversial. The Wilder Fury fight, for instance, the Charlo Harrison fight, the Charlo Korobov fight, the Korobov Aleem fight, just to name a few. So let's let the judges be held accountable and explain their verdicts at the end of the fight.